So you've got your book written and now you're ready to publish the paperback version. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to publish a paperback book on KDP, so stick around. Hey everybody, it's Keith Wheeler here, and if you want to continue to get all the hints, tips, and tricks on how to make self-publishing easier to navigate, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit your bell icon so you get alerted each and every time I put out new content. In a previous video, I showed you how to publish an ebook on KDP, or Kindle Direct Publishing, and I'll include a link to it here. Uploading a paperback to KDP is very similar, however there are a few differences, so I'm going to walk you through how to publish a paperback book on KDP. Now let me flip the screen around and we can get started. Okay, here we are at kdp.amazon.com, and I've already logged into my account. For this video, we're going to do paperback. The default language is going to be English. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to put in my book title, which is One Bad Call. I don't have a subtitle, but if I did, I would put it here. This is part of a series, so I'm going to put in the series name, which is the One Call series. And this is book 1. For my edition number, since this is the first time I'm going to publish this book, I'm going to leave it blank. If this was a book that I was doing a second edition or third edition to, I would put that number right here. The author name is me. Obviously, if I was using a pen name, I would put that in here instead. I can add any additional contributors, whether it's a co-author or someone that wrote the foreword, illustrator, etc. I can also add in additional contributors, or I can remove if I've added too many. My description, you're allowed up to 4,000 characters. However, my suggestion is to not make it overly wordy, but make sure that it is intriguing to your potential reader. So for now, I'm just going to put something brief in here. I can always go back in later and change that. Publishing rights, I own the copyright and I hold necessary publishing rights. If you're doing a work of public domain, then you would select this one. Keywords are one of the most important ways to drive traffic to your book and make your book stand out. You're allowed up to 7 keyword slots, with each keyword slot allowing up to 50 characters. So be sure to stem words together that pertain to your book. Next is categories. This is going to be the 2 default categories that your book is going to be found in. Once people start purchasing your book, Amazon's algorithm will figure out what categories best fit your book. You can also go in and request your book to be added to certain categories. You're allowed up to 10 categories for your paperback and up to 10 categories for your ebook. I'll show you in a future video how to search for categories and how to request your book to be put into those additional categories. But for now, I'm just going to focus on the first 2. And I've done this numerous times, so I'm more familiar with it. So I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. You can feel free to take your time and look through it and go through each of these little drop downs and find categories that best fit your book. I'm going to do sports and recreation, baseball, softball, and then I believe there's a girls and women. Yeah, we'll do that one too. Does my book contain adult content? No, it does not. Has my book previously been published on CreateSpace? You can only have your paperback book on either CreateSpace or KDP paperback. You cannot have it in both. So if it already exists on CreateSpace and you want to move it over to KDP, then you'll click yes, it's already on CreateSpace, and a lot of the information will be brought over from the CreateSpace version. You won't lose your rankings or anything else. It's just going to now be housed in KDP and not CreateSpace. This one does not exist over there, so I'm going to click no, and I'm going to click save and continue. Now it's time to decide on my ISBN. I can either pay for my own and add it here, or I can just use the free KDP ISBN. I'm going to use the free one. Yes, I'm sure. I can add in a publishing date. I typically don't do this, but you can if you want to. Now it's time to pick my print options. Is it going to be black and white interior on cream paper, black and white on white paper, or color interior on white paper? If anything in your book is going to be in color, then your entire book has to be put as color interior. So this one is all black and white. I'm going to put it on white paper. Trim size, the default is 6x9. I can select other options, but I'm going to stick with the default 6x9 for my particular book. Does it have bleed? Bleed is a big fancy word meaning that the images in my book, the interior, are going to go to the end of the page. Mine doesn't, it's just a normal novel, so I'm going to put no bleed. My cover finish, matte or glossy. I always pick glossy. I've found that matte finish tends to attract fingerprints, so I just like the way the glossy looks. And now it's time to upload my paperback manuscript. Okay, my manuscript is uploaded. I'm going to go to the book cover, and I can either upload my own PDF book cover, or I can run the cover creator. I'm actually going to do the cover creator this time, just so you can see it. It gives me steps. I'm just going to click continue. I'm going to pick an image from my computer, the one bad call. Okay, and it's uploaded, and so now I can flip through the different options. You know, there are not a lot of options. I definitely like the way this one looks. I'm going to choose this design. I can go in and add in the different text. For right now, I'm going to remove all these. So I want to make it as clean as possible. And then I'm going to preview it. And as you can see, it's pretty clean cut. Obviously, I could put the image in here. I could have the back text if I wanted. But for this particular cover right now, this looks good. I'm going to save and submit. Okay, so I've got my interior, I've got my cover. Now I'm going to launch the previewer. Now this usually will take quite a bit of time because it's running through all its internal programming checks. So I'm going to pause this and we'll come back when it's ready. And we're back. As you can see, it's showing us the cover of our book. On the left hand side is our quality checks. If there was anything that was going to stop it from actually publishing, there would be errors listed. It does have some warnings, which I'm going to go through and read them one by one. But for now, I'm going to flip through the pages and see how everything looks. Right now, everything looks good. When I'm ready to approve it, I can click approve. If I want to go back and make some changes, I just click exit print preview. I go back, make the changes to the interior or cover. For now, I'm going to approve it. Now keep in mind that this is the digital previewer of it. Once I submit this, this will actually go to KDP for them to review it with their manual quality checks. After I've launched the previewer and I've approved it, it will show me my printing cost based on the information that I've put. Right now, it's going to be $4.59 just to print it per book. And I'm going to click save and continue. The last steps I have to do is figure out what territories I want my book to be in. Do I want it to be in all territories, basically worldwide, or do I want to select the individual territories? I personally want my book to be in as many places as possible, so I always save the default as all territories. I then set my price. It tells me right here that the minimum price I have to charge would be $7.66. For this particular book, I'm going to up mine to $9.99. And it shows me right here my royalty rate, how much it will cost to print, and what my royalty payment will be. So this is how much I will make per book sold on Amazon based on this price of $9.99. If I want to make more money, I simply just increase the price. And that's it. The next thing for me to do is to simply click publish your paperback book. And when I click that, that will go through and it will send it over to KDP for them to do their manual checks. If they do not find any issues with it, it will automatically be live on Amazon. Now, they've added this beta proof copy where I can actually click on here and I can order a proof copy to be mailed to my house. If it's your first book or your first edition of the book, I always suggest getting a printed copy. Like I said, with KDP, once you click that publish your paperback book, if they don't have any issues with it, it goes live. So keep that in mind. So that's it for this video. I hope I answered any questions you had. If any other questions come up or you have ideas for future videos, be sure to put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you get alerted every time I put out new content. And until next time, I'm Keith Wheeler, and remember to write right.